The University of Warsaw Library is a very well-known building, even to those who have never attended the University of Warsaw. Why is that? The answer is the magnificent roof garden of this modern building, designed by the renowned architects Marek Budzyński and Zbigniew Badowski. It looks so attractive thanks to the continual work and care of the gardeners. The roof garden was my greatest professional challenge and the biggest professional success. I was able to participate in such an extraordinary project, creating something so beautiful and exceptional. We were among the first teams in Europe to take up this kind of challenge, and the garden still remains one of the largest in Europe. Thanks to Mrs. Bajerska, who designed it in such a way, the garden is attractive throughout the season. It is visited by thousands of people. Not dozens, thousands. I suppose that there is not a single newlywed couple in Warsaw who have not had their wedding pictures taken in the garden. It is a true landmark of Warsaw.
To jest coś, co jest wyróżnikiem Warszawy.
The plants, though very beautiful, are only a small addition to the true treasures of the university library. The jewel in the crown is the print room, which belonged to King Stanisław August Poniatowski. The famous royal portfolios protecting drawings are unique in the world due to the exceptionally luxurious binding, which you will not find in the royal collection at Windsor Castle or in any other ducal or crown collections in the world. I am confident of this, as I know the European and American collections quite well, and believe me, the collection of Stanisław August is indeed exceptional. Thanks to Stanisław Kostka-Potocki, a patron of the university and an art enthusiast, this invaluable collection could be handed over to the students of the newly established university. The collection was bought from the king's heirs in 1818 at the initiative of Stanisław Kostka-Potocki and donated to the newly established university, the Royal University of Warsaw. This transaction proved profitable for both parties. The university became the owner of a priceless collection which had belonged to the last Polish monarch, and the family of Duke Józef Poniatowski could pay for the monument to the Duke, which had been ordered in Rome. The list of places where the first collections for the library were found is quite long and includes Berlin, Elbląg, Gdańsk, The Hague, Königsberg, Halle, Leipzig, Opole, Toruń, Wrocław. However, most of the volumes came from the numerous book collections in Warsaw. This is what Joachim Lelewel, who started to work as a librarian in Warsaw at this time, wrote about the new library. The newly established university had to have a library. It was supposed to be located in the Kazimierz Palace. The library was given the status of university library without losing the funding that it received as Warsaw Lyceum. Its collection doubled thanks to the new volumes obtained from monasteries or to those which once belonged to Spicer and to the library at the Court of Appeal. Now they were part of the newly created University Library and transferred to the Kazimierz Palace. The new location on the first floor of the Kazimierz Palace was not the best for the book collection. The first library was located in the Kazimierz Palace on the first and second floors, in conditions which were far from ideal, since the rooms were never adapted to house library collections, not to mention art. But that's how it was at the time. Not surprisingly, in the second half of the 19th century, plans were made to construct a new library building. They came to fruition several years later. The author of the neo-Renaissance building, which was erected in front of the Kazimierz Palace, was architect Stanisław Schiller. The most modern library building at the time was created. It was mounted on a reinforced concrete frame, had firewalls, separate reading rooms, and extraordinary storerooms. Part of this historical storeroom is now placed in front of the new university library. It brings back the image of that splendid building whose functionality and capacity were soon insufficient for the needs.
Który też oczywiście wyczerpał swoją funkcjonalność, swoją pojemność bardzo szybko.
The traumatic years of German occupation also left their mark on the university library. However, thanks to the determination, creativity and fortitude of the staff and curators of the collections, the most precious items were hidden in the basement, where they were walled up and therefore did not end up in the hands of Nazi troops. Nevertheless, more than half of the collection was looted. The determination of the staff was also necessary in the times of communist Poland, when the library unofficially collected publications which were not totally legal. We have now moved to another area where there are uncensored publications, prints, kept in some strange places near Warsaw and in the basements of the city. Here I want to say that I had some friends at Sedyba who reproduced such materials and books. These were known as samizdat publications, sold to be read, avoiding censorship. Most of them were political, and these found their way to the university library. They were made available to the readers. I read them here in this professor's reading room.
To była udostępniana, ja to czytałem w tej profesorskiej czytelni. To jest niesłychanie ciekawy okres.
This was a very interesting time, and I think it is worth speaking to those who actually lived it, the librarians who were at risk, who, for the little money they earned, kept almost two concurrent library collections, one with all these index cards, and the other hidden without the index cards.
Drugi bez fiszek, z pochowanymi działami.
Today, index cards are quite obsolete, but the university library is still a favorite place, and not only for academic meetings for Warsaw students.